Hello, everybody. I'm Toby Schifsky, and Vice President of Real Estate for Dearborn Real Estate Education. And today we have a guest with us for our Dearborn webinar, Miss Kate Papke. Kate, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm imagining just about everybody who looks at this or sees this or is on the webinar today has probably talked to you at some point. But Kate is our customer success manager. And so she runs the team of customer success associates who actually work with you day to day. Especially if you're using REcampus or it works with book orders and issues, and really make sure that everything works smoothly in our relationship with our clients and customers. And so, Kate is the person. She's a resident expert on how to really navigate all the tools available to you as a school on REcampus. Kate, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've probably worked with almost everyone being here, and in real estate only. So I've only known real estate in my world at
Yeah, and
Kaplan.
it's been, I think, 9 years now. Is that right?
9 years. Yeah, yeah.
9 years. Oh, that's fabulous.
Goes fast when you're having fun.
Oh, that's excellent. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of jump in, Kate. If you want to roll us through some of those slides. And what we're going to do is Kate's really going to do some straight hands-on demonstration of stuff for everybody. So once again, you're going to learn more about RE Campus because I think maybe some of you maybe don't even have RE Campus yet, and you're just learning to figure out what it is. In fact, I think I have a poll question here for everybody. Let's do this just to make sure we know who's on. Once again, our poll questions are anonymous. Nobody sees what you answer. Our chats are not anonymous. So hello to everybody. If you had a chance to say hello and where you're from in the webinar chat, please do so. Donald from Jupiter, Florida. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to ask a quick poll question. Play along so we know who's in the audience exactly to understand. Are you currently a Dearborn partner? Yes or no? Let us know that right away. We can talk to it then and help you out. It looks like we're almost overwhelmingly yes, already a partner. Not yet, but I'm interested in becoming one. Very good. Good for you. And I'm going to end this poll in 3, 2, 1, 0, and end. And we always share the results. So how about that? We got almost 90% of people on are already partners, and we got one who's not yet, but thinking about it. So that's awesome. And then I don't do this very often, but I wanted to ask one more poll question right away. And this would be the kind of our last poll question, official poll question. We might ask some ad hoc ones, but second question is, how long have you been an REcampus partner? And this is kind of an important question for us for today's discussion because some of you have been partner for a long time. So you've been on old platform, you're on the new platform. We're going to talk about the difference between the two. And then if nobody's been on the old platform, we can spend all the time just talking about the new side. But we're going to try to compare contrast a couple of things, make sure you fully understand some of those features and functionality. All right. So 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share the results. And here, how about this? So 29% are under a year. So one out of almost a third. 1 to 3 years, 14%. 3 to 5 years, nobody. 5+ years, 43%. I'm not yet an REcampus partner. Thank you for being here. 14%. So 5+ years. So almost half been 5+ years. So there is some old, and then there's a little pile of new in there too, Kate. So we got to make sure we touch both.
Okay. Sounds great. We can do that.
All righty. All right. So let's jump in. And maybe I can help set this up because this is really kind of a two-part series, everybody. We wanted to make sure and cover kind of all the features, functionality of REcampus, of your REcampus portal. The trick is that what we find out is that people don't realize that an REcamp, we call it REcampus portal, but your REcampus portal is really two different platforms put together. Now, we call it REcampus, but your understanding of what those two platforms are and how they come together is going to really help you as a school, as an administrator, to get the most out of the system and then to clearly be able to identify for students when they have questions or problems. Okay, how many do you get a lot of questions from our clients when they're like, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, the difference between a portal and and really REcampus Home is the one platform, and the learning management system as the second one. Do you find that there's much
We
like,
do we do get a lot of questions. A lot of it is honestly on extensions where students are looking to purchase more time, and they're in the
Mhm.
learning management system, which is where the content is housed. And the transactions have to happen on the portals. So that's kind of where students are going a step too far into the learning management system looking for those extensions.
Got it.
And then, so that's, I think, the biggest question we kind of get is where the extensions are, and those are housed in the portal because that's a transaction website. And then the learning management system is where the content is housed.
Okay, so just to give this to everybody, so we're absolutely clear. Some of you know this, so bear with us. She is going to demonstrate it a little bit later, but there's a lot of people who don't realize that it's really two systems coming together. And in here you can see bullet number one, REcampus Home, right? This is where the transactions happen. This is where the information, account information lives. This is like an e-commerce platform right here. This is like a little mini website. We call it a portal, but it's REcampus Home. And what you're going to see is how to identify where you're at as an administrator, because you can bounce around between the two pretty fast. And we're going to show that a little bit later. In the URL at the top of the screen, and we're going to show it in a bit, you can see it says home.recampus when you're in the portal. So it's really REcampus Home. In fact, internally, we call it the home portal, the home system. And frankly, that technology drives really all of our website technology across all of Kaplan, right? So it's super powerful, super strong, but you need to understand when you're in the home, that's for transactions, and that's for account information like student addresses and blah, blah, blah. And if you want to understand how a student, how much they've completed, and you want to pull enrollment reports and all that kind of stuff is in the home part of REcampus. But now, when a student calls you and they have a problem in their course, right? Or they're in the course and they're trying to find out where their assets are within a course package, that's the learning management system, all right? The
Yep.
LMS. And you're going to find that there's a URL heading, and we're going to reveal it later so that you know where you're at when you're in the LMS and when the student is in the LMS. It'll become very obvious once we show it. So let's go ahead, Kate, and
Yeah.
jump. Just make sure people understand there's two things coming together. There's a home, which is kind of the whole, like I said, administrative and transactional and account information. And then there's the actual learning management system that just for everybody knows, the learning management system, it runs hundreds of rules within a regulated course. So it's an entire system of it in itself. Now it's connected on the back end, but it's an entire system in itself to run regulated education for their education delivered in multiple states. Because as we all know, every single state is different. Nobody makes real estate education easy. We're trying to, but that's the difference between the home portal and the LMS. So go ahead, take us into kind of these are and the way this was organized, guys, is really kind of the hot button issues that people are looking for, the help they're looking to get. And Kate, I think you're going to take us through starting with the administrator home screen in
Yeah.
the portal, in the
Yep.
home side of REcampus. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So this is what we're going to cover today for the most part. We'll go into deep dives of everything, but I really wanted to show this is when you log in as an admin, this is a screen you're going to see. So if you log in and you don't see the screen, chances are whatever you're logging in with is not associated with an admin account. So you as an admin will see this.
Oh, so it
Um,
says right there, "Hi, Kate. Welcome to your admin home." Make that
admin home.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And,
So
and,
I
and once again, for everybody on the webinar, we are going to be covering the home, a home.recampus, right? That portal. We're going to be covering that today. The second part to this webinar series is going to be next month, and that's going to cover the LMS, the learning management
Mhm.
side.
Yep,
So look at this.
exactly.
So Kate, you've just highlighted something up there.
Yep. So you'll see the URL is going to be home.recampus.com.
Okay.
And then this is your URL that students can view. I'm logged in as an admin, so it does say admin at the end, but this main part of it tells me that I'm on the REcampus website. portal.
the home.recampus. This is the portal. This is where the transactions are. This is where your admin capabilities. All right. So I think we've beaten that little horse all the way down.
Yep.
But you'd be surprised how many people don't understand. All right. So go ahead, Kate. Take us in.
So we really want to, as an administrator, you do get calls from students and they have questions on kind of how to navigate the portal. So we do want to kind of show what a student experience is very briefly on the portal. So you as an administrator can go into the top right-hand corner. These are going to be your initials when you're logged in, and it's going to show Administrative Home, which we're on, and then My Learning, which is actually going to be my student view because I'm logged in as myself. I see my initials KP. So this is me as a student because I have enrolled in courses myself.
You've got one course in here, right? This
Yep.
20 cost-effective home improvements.
Yep. So this is a student view. So if you, go ahead, Toby. I'll let you.
Yeah, let me just throw in here because this is just finishing, really putting the bow on where there's confusion for students, right? And we do get a lot of calls, and school administrators get calls. They're like, I don't see, I don't know what you're talking about. And you say, you got to go back to the home.recampus in order to purchase and blah, blah, blah. They'll say, I see my course. It says launch. Well, guys, they are still in the portal here. But when you hit the launch button, Kate, hit the launch button and show what happens. Look up in the URL at the top of the screen. It changes. That is Knowledge Hub. That is our LMS. That is the little portal into the LMS. It's called Knowledge Hub. So when you're on with a student, you can say, okay, does it say Knowledge Hub or does it say home.recampus? Because they're in the home, which is the transaction side. This is the part where they can update their account information. They can see all those, account settings. And they do get a list of all their learning, all their courses. They get all that kind of stuff here.
Yep.
But when they click launch, it takes them into the LMS. All right. Let me know if that makes sense to everybody in the chat. Like, yes, or gosh, Toby, you got to whip that horse one more time. Okay, so because it has to be very clear. All right. Nobody's fretting.
That's good. No frets. We don't want frets. So the other thing we get some questions on is actually how to purchase an extension. So this is student facing only. So you cannot purchase an extension as an administrator, but because I am viewing my student dashboard personally, because it says my initials, I can see I've actually expired on this course because I enrolled myself twice, for an example. So typically it's not going to be the same title, but I have expired. So I have the option. I'm in REcampus home REcampus. I have the option of purchasing the extension right here on the portal.
Okay. So once again, this is a student. So if you could back up one screen, and you guys be surprised at how many questions we get. And I get it. It can be confusing. But if you look up in the top right where it says KP on the top right, she's already clicked into, so click on that. You've already done My Learning, which means you've turned yourself, even though you're administrator, you've gone to your student side of things when you click My Learning. So this, as an administrator, but by the way, guys, you can load up courses as an administrator if you want to see what's happening. You do have to request it, otherwise you got to pay for it. But if it's just your own thing and you're looking at it, make sure you contact sales ops, right? Your sales ops, and they will help load that for you. But the idea is now you're a student, and this is what students have to do. They have to go to the home.recampus portal, not in the LMS, and they have to purchase their extension there. So go ahead, Kate. Sorry, but take us through it now.
Nope, you're good. So this would be where they would purchase the extension directly. If for some reason this purchase extension option is not there and you have questions on it, please reach out to your client engagement or client success manager or the sales ops at dearborn.com. It may be that the student is past we only allow students to access content for 18 months from the date of original purchase, as long as the state allows, or you may be in a state that doesn't allow extensions. So that option may not be available. So for some reason you feel that should be there and the student's saying it's not, just reach out to us and we can investigate further.
Yeah. And once again, this is for students to purchase extension to continuing education courses, licensing courses where the state allows and where they haven't gone longer than 18 months access. The reason we put the 18 months on there is because it becomes tricky. That's when we start refreshing courses with new versions, and so we don't want somebody to extend and then get cut off in some sort of a teach out period that we have to have because a new version comes in, and it's
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, so you will not be able to see this if you're not enrolled. You will not be able to see the student view yourself. But if you had courses that you had purchased on your portal or enrolled in your portal, this would be what you would see.
Okay, as a
Additionally,
student. Okay.
exactly. And they can also explore the catalog, which does take them to your available courses as a student. So if you wanted to kind of look through your catalog, if you're in the student view, you can just do the browse on the left-hand side, and it takes you right to the catalog and available products as a student.
Okay, so
So,
go to that again. So it says
yep,
explore catalog.
explore
Once
catalog.
again, you're in as a student because you're looking at
Mhm.
your courses, and this is what the student sees. So when you're
Yep,
talking to the student, like, hey, listen, go back to the portal and purchase, right? Blah blah blah. It's on that left-hand nav for those students, and they can go back and
exactly.
okay, got it.
Exactly.
And it'll only
So,
take them to your portal. Doesn't take them anywhere else. Just takes them to your portal. Okay.
exactly. So so now we're done with the student view because this is me as a student. I'm going to go back to the administrative home. So I'm going to go to my initial.
By the way, that course, that 20 cost-effective home improvements, I want to know, has anybody seen that course in the chat? Let me know if you've seen that course and what's unique about that course, if anybody's ever seen it. I think it's one of the finest courses we've ever produced for CE, just saying. But go ahead. If you've seen it,
Yep.
tell me what's significant about it. Okay, in the chat.
Yep. So we're back to the admin home. I did my drop down, but I want to go a little bit more into detail. So we're going to go to the user management.
Yes.
This is the first item. This is going to give me a list of every single student who has logged in, viewed my portal, and has entered a credential of some nature. Whether they purchased or not, I will be able to see them in this list. And the nice thing about this is it populates right away. I don't have to do anything. This shows me everything. The great thing about this is it also is very easy to drill down. So I can just start typing someone's first name and it gives me a list of those few.
And once again, this is back in the admin portal. You've left your student view and now you're in on the admin view by clicking that button up on the top right? You're in
And you can
admin
tell you're
home.
in the admin view because of the left-hand navigation.
Yeah, you
Because
get all the
students
extra
cannot
little
see
stuff. Yeah.
enrollment reports. They cannot see any of this information. So if you're seeing this, you're in an admin view.
Got it.
So we're going to just look at Destiny a little bit. She is actually going to be the one doing the webinar next month for learning management systems. So we're just going to see what she's got on her system. So when I click on anything that's kind of the bluish color, it gives me more information about that student. It tells me that her email address, her information, her phone number, and that right now she is a regular user. The three little dots at the top right-hand corner of this information box allows me to log in as a student. So this is where we talked about kind of federating in and seeing what the student is seeing. So there's a couple different places you can do this. One is in user management. When you click on a specific student, we can actually just drop right into, and then look at it changes to the REcampus Knowledge Hub, or the Knowledge Hub from REcampus.
Oh, so this drives you right into the learning management system.
Exactly.
If they have a course issue or a question. Okay, got it.
Yep, as a student. And it will drop you right where they left off. So I can tell you that Destiny was just looking at her dashboard and looking at all the courses she has enrolled. She's not in any of the content right now. I do want to call out that if for some reason you get a blank screen, chances are that that student, one, does not have any active enrollments, or they have never logged in for the first time. So you can only see as far as the student has seen. And you can
So if a course has expired, would that still show up here, or it would be out?
you would just see Welcome Destiny. You would not show any of
Okay.
these courses
Okay.
below. So we can kind of go in and see how far she's gone in. She hasn't gone very far because she's just been enrolled recently, which we can show that. But see, I can't go past the screen really too much because she hasn't. So it kind of just gives me like you're kind of stuck. It takes me right back because I can't.
Okay, so it's bookmarked to the most advanced spot in the course of the
Mhm.
student is where it'll
Yep.
drop you in at. And this one you just signed up because we're getting ready for next month's view.
Yes.
But if she was on Unit 12,
Mhm.
it would have taken you right into Unit 12, and then you can go backwards and look at everything, but you can't go forward. So you know exactly the progress that a student has made.
Yep. Yep, and you can't progress as students. So you can't
Yeah.
hurt anything by clicking around. You really can't go any further. You won't be able to answer any questions for them. You
Yeah.
literally can just see as far as the student has seen. So
But
that
this is
is
obviously used if case the student says, have a problem, I can't,
Mhm.
there's a thing in here and I don't understand, or but they can easily answer their question by
Exactly.
federating in so you search the student under user management, you go log in as a student, and you can drop right in. And can you be in there at the same time the student is?
You can, yeah. So you
Oh,
can
okay,
see it in
good.
real time. The downside is you can't move forward. So if you say click here, you
Yeah.
have the student click next. If
Yeah.
you
Well,
want
when they click, then you move with them, right? So, okay.
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is one of the features here. There's other ways to drop in. We'll show
Yeah.
that. But that is one way. Also, we can send a password reset instructions. That is for this portal only. It does not set any password reset instructions for the learning management system. So we do get some of the students, especially in Texas, that maybe have a question that they didn't answer correctly and they get logged out
Oh,
for
for biodata
yeah, biodata.
referencing, right?
But that does
Right.
not reset that password of learning management. It only resets
Okay.
the portal,
So
the
in
RE.
some states, you guys should know that we have some additional regulatory functionality that asks the students questions as they go through the course to verify that it's actually them taking the course. Some
Mhm,
regulators require that. That's a different issue. That's a different identity issue. But here, you can reset the password on the home where they have all their account information, all that kind of
mhm.
stuff to let them in. But if they get locked out in a course because of biodata, that's a different deal. Are we going to cover that today, or are you going to cover that
That's
in class?
that's a learning management
Okay,
system.
so we'll
So,
cover that.
but I will say if you have questions because the student can't log in, either reach out to your client engagement, client success manager, or sales ops at dearborn.com, and we can help kind of troubleshoot the
Yeah.
password issue if there is one that this isn't working because it
Okay.
could be that system. So I just wanted to call that out because it is just this system that you can send that password reset on.
That's very well. Once again, another reason why we want to make sure to distinguish between the home and the LMS. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Very good.
Yep. So then the other thing that we see in this three little drop down is view enrollment report. And this is just the enrollment report for this one student. So we will go over in just a moment and you'll notice that on the left-hand navigation, it drops me down to the enrollment tab because we're in enrollments now. So it just shows me this student data. And again, there's the three little dots at the top, same, for the most part, same information. But if I go to user profile, it takes me back to and you'll watch if it goes the user management. So it toggles between the two if you use those three little dots at the top. I do also want to call out you on this new portal can actually create your own administrators. So if you have a new hire in your office, let's say we hired Destiny and we want her to become an administrator to our portal. I did the little, I'll go back just one step. I apologize. So we're going to find Destiny. So we can do it on an existing account
So this
where
is a
we,
powerful tool, Kate, right? I mean,
Mhm.
this is where as a school administrator, you make somebody else an administrator. You want to designate somebody else to have some duties. You want to be able to prescribe some authority. You could
Mhm.
do that here by making somebody else an administrator also for
Yep.
your school.
Yep. So it's this edit user profile. So anywhere you hover, if there's an action, it's going to tell you what that does. So edit user profile. And
Yeah.
here you can update phone numbers, you can update addresses, but you can also change them to administrator. So it
So
asks
anybody.
you.
So be careful with that, right?
Yes, be careful. So it does give you a fair warning before you change them. Change user type. Are you sure we want to give the administrator privileges? And I'm going to say yes. So I just changed her to an administrator. So she has the power that you have as an administrator as well.
Same power.
Same power.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, I want them to have everything except it's an all or nothing deal, right?
It's everything. Yep. It is
So
simple enough.
only your most trusted, I mean, because you
Yep.
could do some damage in there, right? I mean, somebody could, right?
Yeah. So you can switch them back as easy as you switched them to an administrator. So we're going to change her back to a regular student. Again, you get the privilege
So
pop up
like
again.
when my parents took away the car keys, they can give it to you. They can also take it
You've
back.
lost
Very
your
quick.
privileges. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
And then we would just hit save. So she is, and this is because she has, we used a fake address for her. So that's why we're getting that error. You can
Okay.
also add an administrator or a student with using this little pop-up of add user. So you can select add admin or add user. So you can add someone if they have not even had an account created. So you can do that
Okay.
yourself.
So if I wanted to add a student, like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and add you, and then can you enroll a student from right there in something?
That's a great question. So if you are not in an elite level, you will not have enrollment permissions. And we'll go over that enrollment task in just a little bit. But that only comes at the elite level. So right now you can see I do have admin ordering because I have the highest permission available, but I'm at the elite level. So if you're not at elite level, you won't have admin ordering function.
Okay. But we are going to cover that in a little bit.
We will. Yeah, we will. So the only other thing I want to call out on this screen is you can export this data that you're viewing right now into an Excel document. So if you wanted to run a reach out campaign to the people that have accessed your portal, you can export it into an Excel and pull all those email addresses very quickly and just kind of reach out to them and check in. You can do what that you would like with that information. Those are your students and those that have accessed your portal.
Got it.
So we're going to skip admin ordering at this point just because it is an elite level. We'll touch on that the last topic that we cover. But Portal Manager is a really cool feature that we added on the home platform. You have a lot more power now as an administrator than you had and control over what your site and your portal looks like. So you have the ability to update and make your contact information displayable. You probably want students to reach out to you, so you probably want that toggled on at all times. But if you moved, you no longer have to reach out to us and say, I moved, you need to update my address. You can do that directly on here. If you've changed who your administrator is and who wants to handle student questions, you can update that information directly yourself by just going into Portal Manager and clicking on Contact Us. And that will bring up what currently is listed there.
Got it. So if I'm changing my school address, have I got anything, I can do all these sort of administrative access.
Exactly.
Phone number, everything. Okay.
Also on that side, if you change your logo, you have the ability to update your logo right here as well. And a cool feature is you also can change your color. I'm not going to mess with it because these are the Dearborn colors, but you can change that. If you want to change your logo and you went from a blue to an orange and you want your portal to match it, you can do that as well. The only other item I want to touch on Portal Manager is site messaging. This is available at premium and above. So if you're an essential level partner, you won't have the ability to put site messages. But in North Carolina, we just hit the renewal blackout period. So if you're in North Carolina, you may want to put a site message here that says, blackout
all CE,
period.
Keep all CE completed by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you can create your own site message and have it expired anytime. You can select where your location is, where you want to see that. So you have the ability to communicate with your students when they're in the portal in a lot of a different level than you used to be able to. And you can control it yourself. You don't have to reach out to anyone to do it.
And there's, by the looks of it, there's different places where those messages can show up. So you can direct where they show up or not.
Yep, exactly. So all of these options are where you can have them show up on. So if you
Cart
want it to just
checkout,
show,
cart
yeah,
summary. Oh,
like,
wow.
don't forget your book, don't forget your, did you select an upgrade? So all that
Sure.
information you can call out right in a specific location, and you can change the color. There's a couple different, we have an alert, a
Yeah,
warning,
yeah,
so
yeah.
blue, yellow, red. And then you can set expiration date. So it's a really cool tool, but it is only available starting at premium level.
Okay, so premium and elites get this, but
Mhm,
the deal is you can set an expiration date. So you can say, I want to run this for 2 weeks, or I got to run this for a week, or hey,
mhm,
everybody should understand this. And you can pick the location. You can have it run forever. You can do whatever.
mhm.
Okay, super cool. Well, what a
Yeah.
great way to make messages, kind of global messages to all those students. All right.
Yep, exactly. So then, next thing we're going to talk over is the enrollment report. So the enrollment report encompasses both the enrollment and the completion report. If you were on the older platform, there were two separate reports. So I do want to call out that if you are on this newer platform and you're used to the older platform, this is where you find both the completion and the enrollment data in one.
Okay. All right. So we can
And as you can see, it does not populate anything like it does on user management. So we do have to select our search criteria. So I'm going to do just this year on my enrollments. It's going to show me anyone who's enrolled this year. So the really nice thing is it also shows me, who's completed in this list. If I wanted to see this and dive into it a little bit more in depth, I can also export it as well in the top right corner to an Excel document.
okay.
So that's
Does it give
available.
more information on an Excel
It
report?
does. So
Okay,
I'm going to talk over that in just a second. I'm going to
that's
clear
fine.
my few filters and I'm going to do we'll do a completion because there's probably not a lot because this is a demo portal.
Yeah.
But this is a completion report. This is one that you would probably want to export because you as a school of record would be reporting to the state if it's required. And you
Mhm.
may need a date of birth. You may need the last four of a social security number. All that information is not housed in the portal. It is actually going to be housed in the Excel document. So you would want to export it to get those
Yeah,
additional
so
features.
this is a quick look. Okay, I got two
Mhm.
more, need to report. Bam, I hit the export to a CBS or CSV
Excel.
or a Excel file. Okay,
Yep. So it just downloads an Excel file for me. And it downloaded it right here so then I can open it in Excel. And it will show all the information for these two students
okay.
right into that area. The other thing I do want to call out is if you opted in to generate system generated certificates, which is starting at the premium level,
Yeah.
um, you also do have to select to opt in because we have to get some data from you to create the certificates. You can actually view the certificates right here on the portal if your it's system generated, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let me get it straight. So we can do a certificate. Basically, you can create a certificate, completion certificate, when a student completes a course, and it's available at the premium and elite level. And there's a step that you have to do. You have to initiate it, say yes, create it.
Mhm.
Right? And did you show how you do that?
So it's a form stack. So you would have been
Okay,
provided that form stack when you got your portal detail information. So we
got
don't
it. At
just
the very
turn it on.
beginning,
I do
or
want
when
to
you
call that
upgrade.
out. You
Okay,
have to fill it out to give us the pertinent information so we can fill in the certificate template for you. But it
sure.
is system generated and it is housed by our systems, which is great. And you can view those certificates right on the portal without having to log in. This account is not set up, so right now it wouldn't show me anything, but this
Okay.
is where you would see it if you were using our system
And
generated
how did
certificate.
you get to this right here? This is in
Yeah,
the.
great question. So I just clicked on the individual's name. Anything that
Oh,
kind of has
so you
that
go
blue.
you got it. Yep. So you just burn down into the individual and you can see all their certificates. If somebody said
Yep,
has a
and you can
question,
expand and see how far they've come, what
okay.
they've done, if they're in progress. You can see that information in here. Oops, I don't know why it just went blank. Sorry.
Yeah, I can see it.
Um,
Oh, now it
Oh,
went blank. Yeah,
there we
you're
go.
right.
There you go. But then completed also is housed right in here too. This
Okay.
information of where a student is in the content will also be shown on the export of the document. So you
So if
can
you
go through
download the
and
Excel file, it'll be in there too. But here's where you click into the student and you can see this kind of expanded information in each course
exactly,
that they're in.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So that's the enrollment and completion report. So it's housed in one. It's called enrollment report, but it does house both content
Okay.
data. The last thing that I kind of want to touch on with the portal, and we can drill into anything. Well, there's two more things. I apologize. We have the admin ordering is a transaction report. Again, this is one that does not show up unless I put in my search criteria. So we want to build a report. Again, you can export it into Excel in the top right-hand
Sure.
corner. But this is where you would actually request a refund for a student. So we will not refund a student unless it comes from the school of record. This impacts your revenue. If we were to go around and refund students when they, if they were to call and say, I want a refund, that impacts your bottom line. We don't want to do that. We need permission from you as a school of record to do that. So that's why it must come through the portal. So if I click on here and I click
And
just
believe
on
me,
that,
students find any way they can to crawl over the wall. They come in through every door possible. They'll go to technical support and right, if they can't get a hold of you for some reason, they're coming in and we just can't refund people. You have to do that as an
yep,
ad. Yeah, and
yep,
because it's just there's a part to this where that's your responsibility. We're not going to take your
mhm,
money. This is a part of it. You have to be able to solve that. Of course, we work with you if there's a problem or an issue,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
this
But this
has to be the admin. Okay.
Yep. And this is where, because this is a demo portal, really there's no funds associated with it. But if there were funds, it would be request a refund and it would ask me questions about this refund. How much I want to refund? Are we removing the access? And this is not automatic. I do want to call that out. It is
We
not.
verify, right?
We
Yeah.
verify, yeah, because we do have Dearborn policies that we must meet. I'm just going to go back to our slideshow if it's still there.
Yeah.
Sorry, looking through here because I do have a screen image of our refund policy. So refunds are not available for any courses past the original expiration date or access period end date. So if it's past a 6 month enrollment and someone's requesting it in the 7th month, Dearborn actually will deny that return request because it's outside of Dearborn.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Or if they've completed the course, we deny
mhm.
that also. Um,
Yep.
It doesn't mean there aren't extenuating circumstances. We're all human, but as a policy, that's the way of it. And the only way that you can do the refund is to request it as an admin through the
Exactly.
home.REcampus Admin Portal. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And so that is goes to our team and it is worked by a team and then they process the refund. So there is a slight delay in those
Yeah, it creates an order that goes in, and then the team gets the order. They have to verify it. It could be that it comes in at night. It comes in, but usually within how long, Kate, does it take? A day?
I would say if you're in working week, probably a day or two, business days, for
Max.
it to be processed. It should be processed the next business day, but
Okay.
if the team has any questions, they do reach out to us for clarification if something's on the
Okay.
borderline of the policy.
Yeah.
So they do ask for verification on something. So I will say it is a day or two business, 1 or 2 business days on
Okay.
average. The last item I do want to talk over is the admin ordering. This is only available at the elite level. And this would be if you're ordering on behalf of a student. So they want to order a course. Maybe you collected the funds up front on your own website directly, and then you want to place an order. So I did just select on my portal admin ordering. It takes me right to the catalog. So it looks very similar to a student ordering. The difference is when I select a product and I add it to the cart, just got to get there. It's going to prompt me to select a user. So here would be where, let's say we want to enroll Destiny.
Okay,
Destiny,
so the user is the student.
yes, exactly. So,
And the reason, yeah, okay. So the user is the student. Okay, got it.
yep. So we selected Destiny as a user. If you wanted to do 2 students, you could do 2 students. That's okay. So you're ordering this product twice then, and it's going to show your total here. So we're going to go to checkout, and I will call out that you do have to put a shipping address in. Even though nothing may be shipping, it is something that is going to be required. And here, if you're using a promo code, which is available at a premium or elite level, you can enter a promo code here to bring down that cost. We're going to proceed to checkout, and we're going to add in shipping information. It's already there, but if there isn't, it'll prompt you to put in our
Yeah, so
card
I
information.
can put it in there, the shipping. And the shipping, I think, has to do a lot with taxes, right? I mean,
Yep,
tax collection, if there is a tax consequence.
exactly. Yep. So
Most of
that's
the
why,
education, there's not a lot, but some there is, right? Like,
yep,
look at, here we go, California principles,
yep.
979. Okay.
Yep. So then you'll be prompted to put in a credit card information unless you have opted to be billable. Then you can just proceed to checkout. So those
And
are
when you say this, so you can just operate credit card only, or you can apply, and we have a process by which you can become a billable account. You have to go through a Dun and Bradstreet and that's background, all this kind of stuff. But it is something that then you could be billed at the end of the month for
yep.
collected. Okay.
And then just to get out of here, I can see my admin home. This takes me directly back. So if I weren't ready to check out and I wanted to do something else, I don't have to. I can get right back to my admin home and I
Yeah.
can just get back here. And then all my options are here for my enrollments.
Question for admin ordering. Can I do a bulk upload? Like, let's say I got a class of 140, or I got 140 people. Like, maybe I'm out and I'm working deals with a big brokerage and I want to give everybody CE, and if I've worked a deal with the brokerage and they're going to pay me a flat fee for all their people to take CE, can I do bulk uploading?
So you can create a multiple student accounts, but you can't order like you can't upload a CSV template to order for them because you do have to assign it at this level, but you could add, like I had two students in my cart. So if you
Yeah.
had the student account created, you can just add them to each student as you check out.
Okay, so okay, so is there any bulk upload? Like, if I could bulk upload a roster and create an account for them,
Yep.
and then I can
So
assign the education here.
that's a great question. Yes. So you could create a multiple student account. I will let you know that you have to put in the country. The country code gets a little bit
Yeah.
temperamental at
Well, we
times,
can
but
guide them. I'm just saying, you don't have to take us all the way through,
yep.
but we have a
So
way to do a bulk upload to create the accounts
yep,
so that it's just less time consuming, so that you're not
exactly.
sitting there
So
typing in everybody's address a second time.
I'm on user management and there's
Yeah.
add multiple users. So right here, it's going to prompt me to download a CSV template. I don't know why I did that. It showed for a second. So here's a
Ah, there we go.
CSV template. So I can download the template that we need.
Got
And
it.
then
Okay.
when I have it filled out, I can browse that template. The other thing
Yeah.
is if you create an account, there's a toggle to send them enrollment or instructions on how to set up their account. If you're ordering for them, you probably don't need to set up an account because they'll get an email that you ordered for them. But if for some reason someone's
Oh.
really confused and they need help getting into the portal, you could create an account and send instructions and it will take them right to the portal to
Got it.
finish setting it up.
So you're saying that I could literally just put the name and email address in, and it would send them a notice that, hey, there's a course waiting for you. You just need to go complete the setup of your account. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. So this
Okay.
toggle sends them instructions on how to finish setting up their account on the
Okay.
portal.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to look at the fastest way for people to go out and maybe think about selling education differently and using REcampus to do that through some of these features and functionality, and knocking down big swaths of people.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just an example, if someone's calling you and you can ask them for their email address right then and there on the
yeah.
phone. I put in their email address. It's going to ask me if I want to join. This account has already existed because I'm already in the system, but I am
Sure.
going to add them to my portal. So you may see that if they've ever enrolled. So then because I've already created an account, it didn't
Yeah.
prompt me to send anything. But if they're brand new, it will ask you to send that information when you
For them
create
to
it.
complete the setup of their
Mhm.
account and access. Well, okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're almost near the end, and I know some people have questions. So this is the part where I really want to open it up for questions for everybody. And Kate, leave that portal up because I want people to be able to ask questions about, well, what about this and what about that? If you've got questions, please put it in the chat and let's take a whack at it. We got Chris Robinson's on here, National Account Director for Sales. Many of you know Chris. It's got Kate here. I'm here. Love to see if you have any other questions about the features functionality that's on the REcampus Portal product, which, as we know now, is really two platforms. It's the home and it is the LMS, Learning Management System, because we're going to do on July 9th, we're going to have the second part to this, which is really getting into the nitty gritty about all the features and functionality within the LMS, kind of that where students spend the vast bulk of their time is in the LMS. And then your understanding of the LMS, I think, is kind of key as an educator to know what that experience is and what to expect of the behavior and activity of your students. So any other questions or thoughts that you like to ask for Kate today? I think about when I'm sitting here. Look at Jay. Jay's like, Chris, look for an email. I got questions, but it's too big for this venue. No, I'm just kidding, Jay. But the idea is, here we go. So the student can create an account without ordering a course.
Yep. So when I first log into a portal, let me just get the portal up again. Sorry. I hid everything for the meeting here. I apologize. Let me just get that up. Stop sharing. I apologize.
Yeah.
The downside of sharing your screen, you kind of lose things at times. Okay, let me get this back up here. So yeah, so if I were to go to your portal, and I can kind of poke around as a student, but then if I were to want to order something, then I would click add to cart and it would prompt me to create an account on that portal. But if let's say
hold on. So it would prompt me to create an account in order to complete the purchase. What if I don't complete the purchase?
So as long as if a student ever logs into your account, you will be able to see them. So let's say I'm on your portal. I'm just gonna I'm going back a little bit to the student view before I even log in. One moment here. This is a great question. So this is, if it loads. I apologize. I don't have the RE demo. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing just so I can get my bookmark out here.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways, right? When they go to a login screen, it's going to say, are you an existing customer or create an account? I get that part, but I'm wondering how that works if it's at the cart, because I'm imagining most students are being directed to go to basically the e-commerce side of the portal, right?
Yep.
The home, and they're looking and browsing courses, and then they click on a course.
So this is going to be, I'm not logged in anywhere. So you can see in the top right-hand corner that it says sign in.
So this is what somebody gets if they come to your portal and they're not an existing student.
Just looking around, they add it to cart.
Yeah.
And here's a promo code if I needed to. But because I'm not logged in, I proceed to checkout. It's going to prompt me to log in or create an account. So I've never signed into a portal ever. I would be prompted to create an account. And I don't have to necessarily check out fully. So I could create an account, keep it in my cart, kind of look at it, and never check out. And then they would be on your user management list.
And where would I go into user management to see all these people who created an account, got all the way to the end of my my checkout process and didn't buy?
Yep. So that would be on the user management. We wouldn't be able to see what's in their cart, but we would be able to see that and it's taking me to that. So I'm going to switch to my admin home because I'm trying to purchase as a student. Switching to my admin home.
Yeah, so now you're in as an admin because you were the other side was the student's view, but now you're an admin and now you're going to go see who's created an account.
And so all these individuals may not have ordered, but they
Yeah.
would have, they
Created an
may have
account.
just logged in for the first time. So, it doesn't tell you what's pending in the cart, but it will tell you, like, if I click on someone, I can go to enrollment report for that specific person, and it tells me that they are enrolled. So this person did purchase. So, if you
Okay.
exported it, though, it would tell you probably a little bit more details on that.
Okay.
I
So
haven't
anybody who's created an account, you can go see. You may not know exactly what they had in the cart, but you know that they've created an account.
Mhm,
And they would have to have left some sort of email train. And
mhm,
it could be a reach out for, well, okay. All right. I get it. I get it.
yep. So
All right. Good question, Diana. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Well, let's do this. Kate, anything else in closing?
no.
Are there any instructions about all of this? Well, students are never going to know the administrative side. So, Diana, I don't think you're asking about the administrative stuff. I think you're thinking about students' homepage versus LMS.
Okay.
No, we
So,
don't do a lot of that.
yeah. No, but it is, the system is set up to be intuitive so that if you hit launch, you'll be redirected automatically. It's meant to be a seamless process in theory,
Yeah.
where the student doesn't really know that they're leaving your portal unless they were looking at the URL. That's intentional. We want
Yeah.
it to seem like you're the one offering the content. The biggest thing is that they'll see that the URL is different.
Yes.
So if you have questions and the student isn't being very specific on what they're looking at, you can ask what their URL says, and that gives you an idea of where they are. But the goal of us creating it was as seamless as possible.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, and are we perfect? No, I don't think any system is perfect. But the idea is they don't even really even need to know that as long as they're going through the process right. But there are some students who will, they'll go into the corner and they'll get stuck, and then they call you, and so that you know about it, you can bring it back. But we don't find a problem even on the rest of Kaplan kind of operates the same way,
Mhm.
guys, across hundreds of thousands of students.
Yeah.
There are some who have questions and some who get stuck, but it is a very small minority. But
So
kind of a loud minority when they have a problem.
yeah, so Dana asked about the initials in the top right corner. That's really for you as an administrator. Students will only see the student view. You as administrator can switch between the admin home and the student account. Unless they're an administrator, they'll always just see the student view. So they really don't need to know about the initials in the top right hand corner. That's more for you as an administrator.
Okay, very good. Good to know. All right. Any more questions? Oh, here we go. Okay, Wagner. Oh, there we go. Well, there you go. As a school of record, if you want students to understand a little bit more about the student experience, there's a YouTube video link that you can send out. It's a Dearborn video that is really kind of specific to the platform. So go ahead and grab that address out of the chat. Kate Wagner just put in it. If you guys don't know, Kate Wagner is the product manager for wholesale Dearborn real estate education. And let's do this. Connect with us. If you got any more questions, any more thoughts, please reach out. We're here to answer questions. We're here to help you be successful. And we look forward to seeing you guys all soon for part 2 of the REcampus experience. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, everybody. And we'll talk to you soon.